If you think that Blu Tack is just for sticking posters on the wall or keeping your ornaments in place, then prepare to be amazed on the Virtual Village Hall this morning, because I'm going to show you how to make Speedy seasonal stamps from Blu Tack. You're going to need your Blu Tack and also something to print onto. And you can print onto gift tags, wrapping paper, things like greeting cards or bunting. There's a few other things you're going to need. So what I'll do, I'll pop you down, talk you through it, and then show you how it's done. So as I said, you'll need your Blu Tack or the reusable adhesive that you can get. You'll need something to print onto. So gift tags, wrapping paper, greetings cards, that sort of thing. You'll also need a design. Keep it nice and simple. So I'm going to go with this nice stylized oak leaf, but you can do your initials, you can do geometric shapes. Just keep it nice and bold. Solid shapes work best because you're going to be cutting this out. You'll also need a rolling pin, a pair of scissors, craft knife. You'll probably need a pencil as well, your cutting mat, just a piece of scrap paper, and also an ink pad, just a normal stamping ink pad. I think that's everything. So let's get started. Start with your design. So I've just done this onto paper. You could do it onto card if you wanted to. And I'm going to start just by cutting it out with scissors. And this is going to form our template for the stamp. So if you're just joining us this morning, we are making Speedy seasonal stamps for printing onto cards and gift tags, that sort of thing. And we're making them from trusty old Blu Tack. So that's our design ready. So get your Blu Tack, and we just want to make sure it's really nice and pliable, because what we want is a very flat surface for our stamps. So I'm just going to warm it up a bit. It's a little bit colder today anyway. So let's just warm that up, rub it in our hands, stretch it about a bit, just to make sure it's really nice and pliable. So the amount of Blu Tack that you need for this does depend on the size of your template and the size of your design. So just bear that in mind. Let's just do this a little bit more. If you're watching along today, then please do say hi. It's always lovely to hear from you. Know that I'm not alone. Know that where you're printing from today or watching from today. Just stick a hi in the comments. There we go, that's a bit better, a bit more pliable. So then I'm going to take my rolling pin, and then I'm just going to roll it nice and flat. So you want to make sure that there are no marks in the Blu Tack. You want it really, really smooth and level as well. So I just do a bit, turn it over, do a bit, turn it over, because you don't want it really to stick and stretch out of shape too much. So I need to do it a little bit more. Just maybe slightly more. Thickness wise, You don't want it too thin. You can have it quite thick if you wanted to, but I normally do mine just sort of that sort of thin. So it's probably about sort of 2 to 3 millimeters thin. I mean, they're so quick to make. It's worth just having an experiment, seeing what you prefer. There we go. I think that's enough. Yes, I can fit that on there. So I'm just going to rub over the, this is what I should say before I go any further. So if you want your stamp to be exactly the same as your design, then you need to flip it over onto the Blu Tack. This is especially important if you're doing things like text or initials, because the stamp needs to be the reverse of what's going to be printed. You'll see if you do it wrong, then you'll definitely notice, but just give yourself a little bit of a head start. Make sure that you flip it over so with the right side is facing down. Just make sure that's not stuck, so it's easy to get off. Make sure it's so that your stamp will end up the wrong way around. It's going to look weird and you're going to think it's wrong, but as soon as you print it, then you'll know that it's right. So then I just take a craft knife, make sure the safety catch is on, and just very carefully cut round my oak leaf. So I'm going to be moving my craft board around. Just take your time with this. There we go, and then that can just be used for another stamp. If you're finding that the paper's getting in the way, then what you could do is just score all the way around with the knife, take the paper off, and then just do it like that. And then just cut just from the score marks. So you'll notice that the Blu Tack does stretch a little bit, so you just need to take your time, make sure you go all the way through before you take the piece off, otherwise you'll end up with a stretched out stamp. go, moving on to the final side. The last little bit to come off, and then we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so that's our stamp cut out. Just make sure that those edges are nice and round. So I can just do a little bit of moulding there. Good. So very carefully peel it off, because again you don't want to stretch the Blu Tack. There we go. And on my design I had the veins drawn in as well, so I'm just going to take my pencil and draw those in. Actually, it's quite handy because some of the pencil marks actually transferred, so I can just follow those, or you can just draw freehand, but again remembering that whatever you draw on here will print in reverse. So brown might be a bit easier to draw on. Okay. Make sure those. Okay, then it's time to print. So grab your scrap piece of paper and your ink pad, and what you're going to print onto. I'm printing a gift card. Lay your stamp face up, and then take your ink pad and then just dab all over, making sure you get a really good solid coverage. I might just do a test print first, because I always say with this sort of printing and linocut as well, that it's always a little bit like making pancakes. So the first one doesn't always turn out very well, and then the next one is better, and then better and better. So we'll do a little test print. I think that's completely covered. Actually, that's dipped down a bit, so it might not print too well, but we'll see how we get on. So I'm just going to do a little test print just in the corner. So place it down, and then just with your finger, make sure that you don't move the stamp, press down, all over, making sure the stamp makes contact with the paper. And then there's your stamp. Quite happy with that little print. So let's restamp, and then we can do our final one. pick up the stamp, carefully turn it over, position, lay it down, and once it's down, don't move it around because that would have already printed something on there and you might just end up looking a bit of a mess. More, just for good measure. Carefully peel it off. Perfect. So it's looking a little bit sparse. So what I'm going to do is add some of these just little dots, these little circles. And to do that, I just take a piece of the offcuts of the Blu Tack. I'm going to roll it into a ball. And then just pinch one end so that I've got like a little handle. I'm going to flatten, actually this might be a bit too much, let's take a little bit off. Okay, so let's do that again. We'll roll it into a ball. Pinch one end to make it into a handle. Just flatten the end on the table so you get like a circular shape, like so. And then just dab onto the ink pad. I'll do a couple just to start off. Oh, so I've got a slight dent in that circle. There, that's better. So happy with that. So then I'm just going to add this to my gift tag. And you don't have to use black. I'm just using black because it's a really good way to show you a print. You could use different coloured ink pads. Layer up your colours, really just play, just have fun with it. And if you haven't got time to do this today, then you can always save this video for later. So if you just click the top three circles, the three circles in the top right, then you can click save. Or if you want to share this with craft groups or your friends, just click on the share arrow in the bottom right corner, and then you can share that and show other people how to print, how easy printing is. So do you think that that's something that you'll be able to do? Let me know in the comments. This session, then please do that as well. I will go through afterwards and answer them all. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to show you how to do that, how to make quick and easy stamps to complement the season, whatever you're printing onto. So take care, and I will see you again next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.